You guys know I love podcasting and listening to podcasts, and I'm guessing if you're listening to this that you love podcasts too. Have you ever considered podcasting yourself? It is a great way to reach your audience, grow your know, like and trust factor, and not need to show your face unless you want to. If it is something you've thought about but you don't know where to start, then head over to becomeapodcaster.uk/BAP quiz, BAP quiz, to access a 2-minute quiz that will help you work out what type of podcast might suit you. That's becomeapodcaster.uk/BAP quiz. We just hit the last third of 2022, and now it's time to start percolating on goals for next year. We are in our low season tip series here, so let's jump in. Welcome back to the Wedding Procast UK. I'm your host, Donna, and thank you so much for being here with me. If you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the other low season tips in this series that we're doing, and you can go back and listen to other episodes as well. So today we are going to be talking about goal setting. Now, some of you who may have been around for a while know that I don't really like the word goal. I prefer milestones, and I don't really know if I can explain why. It's like, to me, a goal is like an end zone. You know, you kick the ball, it goes in the goal, and it dead stop. It just stops. And to me, the goal is retirement, or the goal is to sell the business, or the goal is to end working. Like, you know, that to me is the ultimate goal. That's when things stop. In our businesses, we're always wanting to move forward, get bigger, get better, get more weddings, get to a point where you can do less weddings, you know, whatever it is, it's constantly changing. So to me, milestones fits better for that. I prefer the idea that we create these milestones along our journey that we can hit or we can move, we step over, we maybe lose some, change some. It's a little bit more organic. And that's what I think a business is. It's much more organic than bam, there's the end zone. So that's kind of, you know, my mindset around goal setting. And you can make up your mind what you want to use. I think it has to be something that has positive connotations to you. I feel like, you know, when you are looking at a football match, you know, it's the team with the most goals that wins. And if you don't get the goal, then you lose. And that to me, it just has that negative mindset. And we all know how important mindset is when you are looking at where you want to be in life and what you want to do. Mindset is a huge factor in so many areas. Well, in every area, you know, whether it's your fitness, whether it's your health, whether it's your nutrition, whether it is your family, whether it's the home you live in, the car you buy, the business you're running, all of these, it is a mindset shift that we need to make to get us to a point where we believe we're enough, that we understand that, you know, it can happen for us. You know, how many times do you watch people on YouTube or webinars say, if I can do it, then you can do it. I was just like you. And that is so true. But a lot of us seem to have this block inside us, and we need to shift that block. So to me, changing goals to milestones is a slight mindset shift that helps me. So maybe it will help you too. It is completely up to you what you call it. I will interchange it through this episode, I know. So if I say milestones, I mean goals. If I say goals, I mean milestones. It's all the same thing. So although we are in September, and can we believe it, already September, Christmas is like 117 days away, guys. Sorry, please don't turn off. I mentioned the C word. It is so close. But although we are in September the year isn't over for us, it is unlikely in our industry that we're going to get weddings that book and complete before the end of the year. Now, there may be some micro weddings, some quick turnaround weddings, but the likelihood is you're not going to be able to book an extra 10 of those in before the end of the year if your revenue isn't looking quite where you want it to. So any weddings that you get booked before the end of the year aren't necessarily going to boost your income in this financial year, in this January to December. However, you and I know that when the work we do today pays off tomorrow, and in our industry, never a truer word was spoken. If you get more bookings in this next 3 to 4 months, then you are going to be front loading your income goal for next year and possibly 2024 as well, if not further afield. So this is really a great time for wedding vendors to start setting their goals. I know I did it in December with you guys last year, but just going through this last year and thinking about things, I'm thinking, actually, no, we probably are better off shifting it slightly and doing our planning and doing our goal setting, milestone setting here in sort of September, October time, because what we do over the wedding fairs that we do in October and November and the engagements that happen in December and January and February and the wedding fairs that happen in February and March, all of that is really going to determine our 2023 and what that is going to look like and whether we're going to hit our goals and our milestones for that year based on the work that we're doing, that front loading work that we're doing in those months. So although September can still be fairly busy, it is definitely worth taking the time to sit down and look at your goals for 2023, because you're going to need to start working on them in the next few weeks to get you off to a good start. Wedding season and engagement season is round the corner. So what are the goals that we need to be looking at? So today we're just going to cover 3. You might have more, but these are kind of 3 umbrella goals to look at, I suppose. And the first one is something that you may not expect me to sort of put front and center, but it is, to me, the most important one, and that is your personal goals, your personal milestones. And this is important because I don't know about you, but even though you love what you do, it's a means to an end. You know, if you look at anybody who's in a job that they absolutely hate, why do they go to work? They go to work because they need to provide for their family. So even though you love what you do, you're still doing it for a purpose in your personal life. You still need that income. You still want to be able to do things with your family, to buy your house, to pay your rent, to get a new car, all of those things. And that is what is fundamentally underlying why we're in business. So whether you do it because you absolutely love it or whether you are in a job that you completely hate, which I doubt anybody listening to this podcast is in a job that they absolutely hate. But regardless of that, you do it because you need the money to provide a lifestyle. So what are your personal goals and milestones for 2023? Are you looking to be able to spend more time at home? Are you looking to be able to take more holidays abroad? Are you looking for more white space in your week? Are you looking to take better care of yourself, whether that be self-care, fitness, nutrition? What are your longer term personal goals? Are you working towards a retirement goal? And then obviously right now, the biggest worry for a lot of people is the price hikes that are coming in October for our utilities. Now, this is something that we need to consider because although we're all sort of paying direct debits and so we're always paying something towards it, we need to try and make sure that we are forward thinking what this is going to look like in terms of our regular income that we're getting and how we distribute that. So it's really important to take into consideration your personal life, your family, your house, your car, you know, obviously you need a vehicle to get you around for your work. So there is that as well. But your personal goals are really, really important to be front and center, because that is your motivation for why you are doing what you do. You know, whether that is going to a day job or whether it is running your own business, you do it because you need to have financial security for your family and for your personal self, for your home, to keep a roof over your head and all of that jazz. So it is really important for you to just take some time. And I would recommend an hour on each of these goals, just sort of brainstorm and just do a brain dump. Because if you go back to last week when I talked about taking that 2 days to sit down and plan, you can kind of bring this information into those 2 days. So do a brain dump. What are the important things to you? What do you want to work on this year? What does that look like? The next goal that I want you to take a look at is for your business. Where do you want your business to be this time next year? Do you want to be booking more weddings? Do you want to be increasing your prices? Do you want to do fewer weddings? Are you going to be looking at hiring help, whether that be on a job by job basis or whether it is a VA that is going to help you with the office side of your work? Remember, this is going to come from your personal goals as well. So if you personally want more white space in your week, then having a VA in your business is going to give you that white space that you need. If you are looking at going away more, it may be that you bring on people that work in your business for you, so that there are times where you can leave and go on holiday and the business is still running. So this is why I do it in this order, because you need to know what you personally are going to want out of your year, so that you know what your business needs to do to be able to make that happen. So have a look at that. What is it, the big picture for your business for 2023? Where do you want to be? And I would suggest that, this is something that you maybe brainstorm with your business buddy that I was talking about last week, looking at what could be possible. Remember also, I was talking then about conferences and things that you might want to go to. So that might come into these milestones that, maybe you've never been to a conference before, but that is something that you feel will help your business. So you might want to look into doing a wedding conference or a weekend workshop, that type of thing, where you can go and really deep dive into your business. These are business growing activities. They are going to help you to understand business better and to move your business forward to where you want it to be. So it's a really good idea to factor those into these business goals here as well. And then the last one that I want you to look at is the financial. And the reason that it comes last is because, again, you need to know what you want from your personal lifestyle and life. You need to know what you want and where you want to be in your business before you know how much that is going to cost you. So financially, what is your income this year so far? And you can probably work out what it's going to be by the end of the year as well, because like I said, it's not that likely that you're going to get bookings this year that are going to pay out by the end of the year. So look at what are your bookings up to the end of the year, what is the income, where are you with that? But remember to factor in that quite a few of your weddings this year are likely to have been postponements from 2020 or 2021. So if that's the case, then you need to kind of be a little bit conservative with your estimating for projections, because if you take this year and you go, okay, yeah, I want to add 10% on to what I did this year for next year, the likelihood is that, it may happen because it's only 10%. So one extra booking and you've done fantastic, but you need to look at it in respect of the fact that although you won't have those 2020, that era of bookings that are going to be coming in for next year, you've got to start from scratch again to get those bookings now. So those bookings were postponed, so they were already there, going to happen. You haven't got that in your diary now. You haven't got weddings that are loaded. You've probably got some, because that's the way the wedding industry works. We book up a year or so in advance. So you've probably got some, but because of the era that we've just come out of, people were reluctant to book things, scared to book things. So you are more likely for this year, next year, possibly the year after, to have weddings that are going to be booking in the year that they're happening, because they were planning on maybe starting to book things in 2021 but got too nervous about it, so wanting to wait until this year to start doing that, or want to wait till next year to start doing that, to try and make sure that there are no restrictions that are going to affect their wedding days. So you will find that there are more people likely to be booking weddings that are happening in a shorter space of time right now. But you're also going to have those people that, you know, maybe only got engaged this year and are looking now at starting to book and are wanting to get married in 2025. You don't know. So just be cautious is all I'm saying, because, you know, where you have had weddings that are postponed, you also haven't been able to book weddings in where those postponements are. So you could definitely have had weddings that would have booked in those times, and obviously you know what your inquiries were like, so you know if there were any weddings you had to turn down because you already had postponements in those dates. But just be a little bit conservative with how you are managing your projections for next year. Have a look at it, you know, look at what it is that you need to do to get those financial goals. How many couples do you need to talk to in order to book enough weddings to get enough income that it's going to help you with your business goals and your personal goals? What does that look like? Because you should know your conversion rate. You should know that if you speak to 50 brides, that 5 of those are going to book. Or if you speak to 100 brides and 25 come in for meetings, that you're going to book 15 of them. You should kind of know your numbers when it comes to that. So definitely have a look at what you're looking at in terms of that, because when you go into your wedding fairs, you're going to want to know kind of what is my target, how many people do I need to try and talk to today, and that will really help, because I think a lot of people go into wedding fairs, I know I certainly did, I just went into wedding fairs with like, oh, I'm just going to have some conversations with some people, and although you don't want to come across as spammy or trying to do a hard sell, it's not about hard selling at all, but you need to know your numbers. And you know that if you can talk to and get details from X number of couples, then you're going to be able to nurture that relationship and convert them into meetings and then convert them into bookings. If you go with the, I'm just going to talk to the people that want to talk to me, then you kind of sit back a little bit more and you don't put yourself out there as much, which can be scary. Definitely not something I'm comfortable with, but just knowing, okay, today this wedding fair has cost me X amount. I really need to speak to this many couples to ensure that I get enough people's details to be able to make this wedding fair, 1, pay for itself, and 2, hit my target for the year. So we need to know these goals before we start attending wedding fairs. And for most of us, that will start in October time. So definitely need to be doing this very soon. Like I say, I recommend doing this month and then getting your planning days in right at the end of September or the beginning of October, so that you are prepared when you go to your wedding fairs. So that is what we have done today. We've started to percolate those goals. So although you may plan in December, I think that actually this month is perfect for planning for 2023, because the work you do over the next 3 months predominantly affects 2023's bottom line. So work out your goals, your milestones. Take an hour a week through September to look at each area, and then take all of this to your planning days that I spoke about in episode 2021. No, it was not episode 2021, Donna. I've just been talking about years too much, obviously. No, last week I spoke on episode 121. So you can go back and listen to that episode, and that will talk to you all about the planning that I suggest that you have a look at doing. I mean, you by no means have to follow what I say at all, but this is just something that I think would be great for you. I know it's worked for other business people. I like to do it. I think taking yourself away from your usual environment to spend a couple of days that are really focused on making decisions about your business and what you want from it is really, really important. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I hope that this has helped spark some ideas for you, started that percolation going. I don't even like coffee. There is going to be a workbook that goes along with this series. It should be out by next week. Things have been really, really busy in the office and I totally forgot about the bank holiday. So family took priority there. So stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram, Donna SPWV, and I will let you know over there as soon as the workbook is available, or join us over in the Facebook group for the podcast. It is the Wedding Procast UK Facebook group. If you head over there, I will put the link in the group as well. So it will go on the bottom of each of these episodes for the series. So it'll be on last week's, it'll be on this one, and it'll be on the next couple as well. But just if you want to get hold of it as soon as possible, then follow me on Insta or join the Facebook group and I will make sure that it drops there first. I will speak to you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share this episode with a friend in the business, and I will see you guys next week. Bye for now. Don't forget to hit those stars and leave a review of the podcast where you listen if you found value in what you heard today. It's a free way you can help the podcast reach more people just like you.